So here is an example from last year's exam. We are shown 4 arthropods and we are asked to state 2 features visible that are common to all arthropods. And here it's important in a question like this to actually look at something that's visible. So talking about DNA or anything like that, while correct, will not be correct for this answer here. So how can we see that they are arthropods? Well, the first thing I would look at here is that we can see that they all have more than 3 pair of legs, and all those legs here, although it can be a little hard to see here, are segmented. They are put into different segments. So that would be my first point. The other point I would look at here is, again, I can see here, I can see the exoskeleton here, I can see exoskeleton here, I can see exoskeleton here, and I can clearly see exoskeleton here. So I would, for my second point, I would choose a visible exoskeleton. There are other ways to get the points, but I think this is the easiest way to get them. So here comes the part where we actually have to use a determiners key. And unlike many of the other old exam papers, here we actually are told that we have to construct the key. It's a little different than last examples, but it's still quite fun. So we start off here by saying the animal has more than 10 pair of legs, and that is D. That is easy to see. Thereby we separate animal D off, which means that all other animals, if it's not D, we move down into the next box. Now we have to find an argument that will separate B here out, but not separate A and C. So if I said exoskeleton, it wouldn't work. Or if I say segmented legs, it wouldn't work, because that will be the same for B, A, and C. And it has to be something we can see. So in this case here, when I look at my insect here, I think I would go for wings visible, which could give you a point, or that 3 pair of legs. Both here would give a point. You don't have to give one of them. I chose to give both here. So that will give us the points here. And then we have to find a way to separate out A from C. It gets a little more tricky here, but not a whole lot. A and C has the same body shape. They have the same number of legs. But if you look at A, you can see here the eyes are on stalks, and one claw is bigger than the other. So I would go here for the simple point and say that one frontal pincer larger than the other. Thus I have now gotten the 2 points, and I separate out. So we first separate out D, then B, then A, and if it's none of those, if it's neither have 10 pair of legs, if it doesn't have visible wings, if it doesn't have one pincer clearly larger than the others, it can only be C, which is our last one, and then we have answered it correctly.